All right, today I got outside with the 100 by 400 and I put the 1.4 extension on. And I also noticed the glass I had over top of my lens was falling apart and it had scratches. And obviously it was doing something to my photos. So I took that off and I decided to shoot without it. And I was shooting straight with the lens. Now, if you look up here, you'll see that little guy. And this is called a dogwood tree here in Tennessee. And nobody really understands this. I mean, this tree, when you get into the fall and winter months, it starts making these red berries. And to you or me, if we eat them, they're poisonous apparently. But to a squirrel, they will live in this tree until those berries are gone. There's like 3 squirrels in this tree. I see them every day. I'm actually sitting on my front porch, and they're across the street. And they literally live in that tree. They don't come out of it. They sit there and they just eat those berries all day long. And they climb through the tree. So I thought this would be great to get some photos and see what this camera can do with the R6. Now look at that when I scroll in. That's pretty clear. You know? And I took quite a few. There's another one. He's hiding behind the branches there. And the pictures are a lot clearer, as you can see. So that's kind of nice that I figured out that issue. Now this is his back. And these were kind of hard, and most of these are handheld, okay? Like, if we want to take a look at the image properties, I mean, this is handheld, is what this is. So, I was pretty impressed with these images. Now, I was not able to turn on eye detect. See, there he is there. I was actually trying to get eye detect on this eye here, but no, I couldn't get it. And it was hard to see them. I had to use the magnifying glass on the back of the R6 and click it twice. And I'm going in like 10 times like a zoom. And then I could see the squirrel better. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Now the dogwood tree apparently makes big blossoms in the spring. And I've never noticed this. I had to look this up. And it attracts a lot of bugs. It even attracts mice. And a lot of different birds. So when the spring comes, you get these big flowers, and then the bugs are attracted to the flowers, and of course the birds are attracted to the bugs, and we have this entire cycle going. But these guys can apparently eat these things, and we can't. So they must have built up something over time. But when I look at these pictures, they turned out really nice. You know, and they were hard to get. I mean, literally, the squirrel would stay deep within the tree. He was hard to spot until you actually seen a branch moving, and then you tried to zoom in. Shooting on a tripod was too hard. Shooting handhold was a lot better. Like if I scroll out, I mean, bring it into there. Like you see a little hairy ball, but you really don't. It's hard to see him. And if I go in, then you're better out. Then you see them. So I thought that was pretty amazing. But these photos, they look pretty good. See over here, he was hiding. And then my properties on that one are, as you can see there. So, I'll bring it down and see what else I got, because I did take quite a few. He looks like he's sleeping there. You know, but for some reason, it's like they're cuddled up into a bed. They're so comfortable sitting on those branches. And I don't know if I got a picture of it, but there was a couple times he literally almost flipped around backwards to reach out and grab those berries. Now, when I looked up Google about the dogwood tree, they said a squirrel can basically, you know, annihilate these berries in a day. And that's not true. These berries have been on 2 trees across the street from me well into a month. And these squirrels have been living in this tree, and this is all they eat every day. I even tried buying some peanuts, and I threw some peanuts at the bottom of the tree. I don't think they come out of it. I think they just sleep in this tree someplace, and when they wake up, they start eating again. And you can hear them eating. You can hear them crunching on them. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I need to plant a couple dogwood trees in my yard. But then when I seen it attracted mice and all this other stuff, I went, oh no, I don't want those in my yard trying to get into the house. But let's have a look at this image property. So this turned out really nice. And I don't have the EV up or down, it's right in the middle. He was moving here a little bit. Moving there. His eyes being hid there. And like I said, I can't see him. If I like go out, it's very difficult to see him in the viewfinder. That's all you see. So you're literally zooming in on this thing, this squirrel, and you just put the focus point on his head, the tiny square, and just start rifling off photos. Because you don't know what you're going to get. That one's not bad there. That's pretty cute. Too bad that leaf was right there. It would have been nice if that wasn't there. And what was I shooting there? 1/500. I have the exposure time set up as a hot menu at the end of my RX, and I just click it, and then I can move it up, move it down. If I see a bird in the sky, I can move it higher to freeze the motion. I mean, depending on what I'm going to shoot, I'm messing with this all the time. And I'm shooting in AV mode, as you can see there. I pay attention to my ISO. I try to make sure it doesn't go above 2000, 2500, but that's normally what I've been trying to do. But that turns out pretty good. Now, none of these I would print yet. But this is just showing me how great the RX6 is actually going. Because we only got 20 megapixels. And you notice, I'm zoomed in on his head. My focus point is his head. So that turned out really nice. Now, if we can get him just to move away from that leaf a little bit. Because as you can see, I took quite a few. Because I didn't know if he was going to move, jump, or what he was going to do. And he's still in the same spot. Same spot. It's amazing how well they hide. Like here he turned around. He's looking for more of these berries in this dogwood tree now. And notice I went from that photo to this one. And look how it changed so quickly. He's moving now. He's crawling on that branch. And I'm not even sure if he is moving because literally I don't see him. Like if I scroll out, that's what I see. Like just some hairball, you know. But when I put it on my computer and then I zoom in, I see a lot different. Okay, so here he is up here. A little bit of berry cleaned off there. And now this wasn't there. That would have been a little nicer. Here we go. So now we're getting better. That's not a bad shot. So he's sitting on a branch. He's eating some of these red berries, as we can see. That if we eat them as humans, we'll die. But he doesn't. So, you know, you'd be walking through the wilderness, starving if you got lost, and then you'd be like, oh, look at that. The squirrel's eating those red berries off that dogwood tree. I think I'll eat some. Next day, you'd be laying there on your belly dead. So it pays to know what your trees and vegetables are and stuff of what these animals are eating. And there's no other tree. Every tree has the leaves gone here because, you know, we're in January. Every tree has the leaves gone. The dogwood tree is the only tree that does have leaves on that I've seen. And those beautiful red berries. And some were purple. We've got some light here. And I'm not even tweaking these. These are straight raw files, straight out of camera. But since I pulled that glass thing off the front of my 100 by 400, the pictures are a lot cleaner than you noticed in what my other videos were. He's a little blurry here, and again, these are handheld. Yep, I was hand holding this when I shot this. Look at his face. Bloody little pig. He wants these red berries bad. You know? Turned his back once he got some. And see how he's hiding? Shots like this were very difficult. Because a lot of the time it wants to focus on a leaf or it wants to focus on something else, not the actual squirrel. But I did try to get eye focus, and I couldn't get it no matter what I did. There was just too many leaves in the way. And I only used 2 focus points. I have them turned on in my camera where I only use 2. I use eye and I use the little tiny square. So I can zero in. That's all I use. All the rest are turned off. I got the star button on the back set up now to where that runs the eye detection, where it follows the eye. And the back button on it for autofocus is the square. So the whole time I was shooting, I was holding down the back focus button and zooming in the best I could. And it looks like I'm starting to get the hang of this camera pretty good. That's what it looks like. So I'm quite impressed with these squirrels now. So yeah, focus just a little bit off. What's my image properties on that one? ISO is 500. Focal length 560 millimeter. AV mode 1/500. Now, if I wanted to go above 1/500, my ISO was shooting too high. Like my ISO was 500 here. But as soon as I went up one with my exposure time here, 1/500, it started to not do good. ISO went too high. Oh, we got lights, we got shadows. I mean, these are really nice. But like I said, you could have walked under this tree and not known there was even squirrels in it. And there's apparently 3 squirrels in it. I only found 1. Yet I could see them eating, and I was like, well, I see them, but I can't see them. I'd see the branch moving. I'd look through the camera, and I couldn't see them. That one's a bit blurry. Again, like I said, handheld. None of this is tripod. You see how he's up in here? Weird. Must have been shaking there a little bit. This one's a lot better. He's literally sitting in between the Y of the tree and enjoying his good meal. So I wasn't too impressed with the other pictures I took, so I'm thinking the protective glass that I had on the front was messing up my pictures, and I didn't have the time delay set up properly for AV mode. Now I do. So if I shoot birds, that's going to go way up. If I'm shooting like deer or elk, then that's going to come down. That's not too bad. So here we go. Raw format, 640 ISO, 1/500. If I bump this up, my ISO went too high. Okay. And I think I'm getting this dialed in pretty good now. 2-inch shaking there. Much better. And I have this taking pictures slowly. I don't have this taking pictures high. Like, I don't have it going, you know, I don't have it like that. I literally have it set where it goes. There's like a 2 to 3 second delay when it takes a photo. And I did that on purpose so I could really time when I was holding it, because I was counting. I was thinking, okay, in 3 seconds it's going to take another one. Let's see if I can get this studied better. Pull my elbow into my chest better. You see, that's why different ones have different focuses, is what's going on. I wonder what's going on there. Wonder if somebody shot him. Looks like a pellet wound. So here he is climbing across the branch. I happen to get this by just luck. He's climbing across the branch going for these red dogwood berries. And he's a mess. His face is just a mess with berries. Why he's able to eat these, I don't know. If you know, tell me. I think he's over here. And it's all blurry because he was walking across the branch. I got the tail. This is user error, not camera error. This is me. Well, that's not bad, huh? Yeah, it's not bad at all. What was the properties on that one? Still 500 with the ISO. 1/500ths. 560. So this really got me to play with this a little bit. Wonder what that is on his neck. Wonder if that's a tick. So there's a bunch of photos with the R6 with squirrels eating dogwood berries, and don't eat those. You see a tree with red berries, don't eat them. They're not good for us. But if you find one, if you find a tree with a bunch of red berries on it in the winter or the fall, you can pretty much count, if you set up your chair, you're going to see some of these little critters up there eating. Because this is just like a miracle find. But they do like them better than peanuts. Because like I said, I put some peanuts under their tree and they didn't even come down. They were too busy saying, I want the berries. They didn't want. And these things apparently are very sour, very tart tasting, is what they are. He's starting to move there a little bit. He's moving there. See, these shots are really hard to get. You know, because the focus is hitting the leaves. It's not hitting him. Okay. There he is up there. He's standing backwards to me, and he's standing on the tree limb there. So I can't see him. But it looks like the R6 is coming out better with the photos being more clear. And maybe I need to look into maybe getting another glass protection on my 100x400 lens. Or maybe just don't use one. And it looks like the pictures are pretty clear. And I've got the camera set up how I like it now. It's real easy how my fingers are moving around. And since I've been practicing with it. So maybe a few more tweaks I got to do. And I think I'll have it dialed in better. He's going for that berry right there. I moved. That's why it's blurry. Blurry, blurry. Too bad. Getting better. Looks like I was focusing over here instead of over here. That one's better. Let's see what that one is. So there you have it. And I will make a video when I'm finally dialed in on how I love it. I'm about 99.9% there. But when I start seeing what I perfectly want, then I'll make a video when I got and how I have it dialed in. So, all right, catch you guys later.